Whether you are a student, a project manager, or an entrepreneur, you will have long-term assignments and long-term goals. I want to give you a few tips on how you manage for the long term. Early on in my career, when I would have a project that I knew was going to go 3 or 4 or 5 months, the first thing that I would do is to figure out what are we trying to accomplish on this project. Are we trying to run a process, for example, in my case, where we actually sell a division of a company or we sell a company? What are the steps to actually making that happen? Well, first, I need to make sure that I could describe what the business was. We'd have to put together a book that described the business in a lot of detail. Then I need to think about, once I've described the business, who do I want to get this in front of? Who are some of the potential buyers? Let me think. Are there people in the industry that might be interested in this company? Are there people who are not in the industry, but they want to get into the industry, and this might be a way for them to enter by buying this company? Are there people who think this company is a competitor, and they actually might want to buy them to take them out of the marketplace? So thinking through, how am I going to think about who the potential buyers are? It's a good example. So if you are starting a long-term project, think to yourself, what is the ultimate goal? Now, what are some of the necessities that I need to get there? Do I need certain materials? Do I need certain machinery? Some of these things, do they need to be ordered, or do I need to collaborate with someone else? But basically step back and think about the project as a whole, and now break it down into discrete pieces that you're going to need that are critical in order to get to the success, the goal, the objective that you have in that environment. Now, once you have figured out what those things are, now you need to think about, where do you get those things from, or who do you collaborate with? Is it going to require you to travel? Do you need lead time in order to do that? And the reason why this is important is for the fourth reason. Now you want to put together a timeline. And let's say that it is a 5-month, 6-month project. You want to put together a timeline complete with milestones. Now that you have figured out everything that needs to happen in order to get to success, what must happen in the first month in order for you to make sure that you can keep moving down the road? Have all of those things in your first month, have a milestone there and say, we can consider ourselves successful if we've done these 7 things. Now, the next milestone is in month 2. Well, if we do these things, then I will consider that we are on track, because that gives us the highest probability of making sure that we finish this in 6 months. What are those things? Now, at the 3-month mark, that is significant. You're halfway through. You want to establish and define yet another milestone, but that is a critical time that you step in and have a conversation with all of the key stakeholders. Your stakeholders are people who care about your success on this long-term project. Now you want to review with them what you got done in month 1, what you did in month 2, what you did in month 3, and especially if you are accomplishing things before the timeline that you established and that you defined with them at the beginning of the project. Because in the event that you've actually delivered in front of some of your milestones, that's going to make you look pretty good in front of those stakeholders. This is also a time where you can have an adjustment, because now maybe the stakeholders has decided that they want the end game to look like something different. Well, you don't want to be at month 5 when you're finding that out. Month 3 is the time to do that. And then for month 4, you make sure that you set up the critical things and you have another time milestone. Month 5, you're doing the same thing. And in a perfect world, you want to deliver this shortly before the 6th month. So then, as I like to say, you have under-promised and you have over-delivered. That generates performance currency for you every single time. But a long-term project is easy to accomplish as long as you have defined what the key success factors are, you have put together a timeline, and you have been very definitive about those milestones, so you will know at each stage of the game whether or not you are being successful, whether you need additional resources, whether or not the ultimate goal needs to be redefined. But by having those milestones, it'll give you the ability to manage that and maximize your success. Go get them.